Coming up next on Action News Now at 6, a live fire training with CAL FIRE crews took place in Oroville today. We'll take you there. Plus, a head-on crash in a popular Chico intersection shut down traffic for hours this morning. We have the details. But first, a structure fire in Oroville was knocked down by crews this afternoon.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Blake Mayfield. We begin tonight with a fire inside a two-story building in Oroville being knocked down by firefighters this afternoon. As you can see in this time-lapse video courtesy of Watch Duty, a plume of black smoke could be seen from up in the Sierra foothills. We've reached out to the Oroville Fire Department for more information, and we'll update you on air and online when we learn more. Volunteer firefighters trained today at the CAL FIRE Butte County Fire Training Facility in Oroville, running through hands-on drills designed to mirror real emergencies. Action News Now reporter Emilio Del Carpio joined them to see what it takes to be ready when the call comes.
The Training and Safety Bureau makes sure every career and volunteer firefighter is trained the right way, and that every state, federal, and local standard is met. The mission is simple: build skills, maintain safety, and deliver consistent, effective training so firefighters are ready to serve the public when it matters most.
I don't think anything can prepare you for when you're, next to an actual live working fire. That is something that it can never be taught in a classroom, but it definitely, it gives you the foundation, to then work off of, and then, at least feel somewhat confident that you know what you're doing.
As Sierra, a former volunteer and graduate of the program, put it, nothing compares to fighting a real fire, but the training comes close. Timed fire shelter deployments and digging fire lines, hand crew drills designed to strip a wildfire of its fuel before it can move.
So what we're doing right here is we're doing a progressive hose lay. So like what this skill would be is that if we have, an acre or two of fire, we're going to go along the right or left flank and we're going to lay hose down. And as we progress the hose, we're going to flow water and try and contain that fire to wherever it already is.
Jordan Weber, a CAL FIRE battalion chief, has spent his life in the fire service. He got his start at just 14 as a fire explorer, later becoming a volunteer firefighter with Company 42 in North Chico.
I think the exposure to the fire department and the culture and the helping the community and serving the community I grew up in was what led me to the interest in the fire service. And volunteering was a good way to see if this was the career path for me.
Openshaw training grounds keep evolving. In 2023, the facility took a major step forward with the opening of a new state-of-the-art 4-story training tower, adding another layer of realism to how first responders prepare for the job. In Durham, Emilio Del Carpio, Action News Now.
If you're interested in learning more about volunteering for CAL FIRE, just head to our webpage and click the link under News Links. CAL FIRE's Shasta Trinity Unit has announced that it'll be conducting a vegetation management project burn starting on Monday. The Williams Ranch Vegetation Management Project will focus on reducing fuels across roughly 500 acres of timber and brush. CAL FIRE plans to tackle small sections of land each day. The project will begin on Monday and continue until Thursday, January 29th. Officials say that residents and visitors in the Platina area may notice emergency personnel, equipment, and air resources engaged in operations throughout the day and evening. Smoke may be visible near the community of Platina and may be present during the day and overnight hours. Well, we saw more of that sunshine and mild temperatures in our area on this beautiful January Saturday. Meteorologist Mark Thibodeau has our forecast.
Well, good evening. Looking at some great weather as we head through the next few days. One thing we're going to have to watch out for that could be a bit of a silent danger in the morning time is that fog. Could get very thick, especially across the Mid-Valley, into the North Valley and the coastal areas. Temperatures are going to be above average. Mild weather is going to be around through a lot of the week. This is a very stagnant, quiet pattern that we're in for the moment. As we head through the overnight hours into Sunday morning, we're in the mid-40s, Mid-Valley, Redding, 46, North Valley, coastal areas in the mid-40s. Some sprinkles or showers or some fog showing up in the coastal areas. Higher elevations, basically in the 20s across the Sierra. It will be cool on Sunday. Chester 46, Redding warm 62, Chico 61, Oroville 59, coastal areas with low clouds and some fog across the region that could last through a good chunk of your Sunday, and then starting to erode as we head into Monday, seeing a little more clearing heading into Monday morning time. A cool start to the new week in the morning. Again, the mornings cool, afternoons warm up nicely with the very dry air that we have in place. We're looking at temperatures very much on the mild side as we head through the brand new week. So as we head through Monday at 7 a.m., Chico Chico, 39 degrees. We are looking at Red Bluff at 41, Weaverville 32. And you can see here this gray layer that's down across the coastal areas, a coastal range right down to the coast, looking at some fog that's going to last, I think, as we head through Monday morning time. 43 Fort Bragg. And again, with that east wind, maybe a bit of an inversion built up across the region too. Alturas, you're the cool spot at 21, Mount Shasta 32. Elsewhere, basically in the low to mid 30s. We'll have the rest of your week coming up in just a few.
All right, thanks, Mark. A head-on crash involving two vehicles blocked the intersection of Mangrove Avenue and Eve 5th Avenue in Chico this morning. The Chico Police Department says the crash happened around 11:22 a.m. when a vehicle traveling westbound on Eve 5th Avenue attempted to make a left turn onto Mangrove Avenue, but failed to yield to oncoming traffic. The second vehicle was traveling eastbound on Eve 5th Avenue, and as a result of the turning vehicle not yielding, the vehicles crashed into each other at the intersection. Initially, dispatch reported 2 minor to moderate injuries from the crash. However, an officer confirmed to Action News Now that the involved parties declined medical treatment, deeming the crash as non-injury. The intersection was blocked for about 40 minutes as emergency crews worked to clear the scene and tow the vehicles away. The intersection was officially cleared and reopened to traffic around noon. The Yuba City Police Department announced the arrest of a man in connection to an ongoing investigation into human trafficking yesterday. Authorities say that the investigation, which began last May, initially centered on a missing teenager. As detectives from the Yuba City Police Department delved deeper into the investigation, they discovered evidence indicating the teenager had been exploited and trafficked. 21-year-old Mejia Bahina of Yuba City was taken into custody on an outstanding warrant and booked into the Sutter County Jail. He faces charges related to human trafficking of a juvenile and other related offenses. As the investigation is ongoing, no further details are being shared to protect the victim's privacy and safety. The Reading Police Department has released some of its crime stats from 2025. The department says last year it received more than 96,000 calls for service. Additionally, officers conducted 8,177 total arrests, including 484 arrests for driving under the influence. 17,375 reports were written, with more than 15,000 total cases. Just over a year after the devastating Eaton fire, Southern California Edison, the region's largest utility company, has filed a lawsuit against LA County and several other major agencies over the deadly fire. CBS's Elise Martinez explains why Edison claims others are largely to blame.
Edison facing hundreds of lawsuits itself, now suing LA County and other agencies over what it says is their role in the costly and deadly Eaton fire. On Friday, Edison filed a lawsuit against LA County, SoCal Gas, and other agencies. Edison alleges that most of the deaths, damages, and injuries could have been avoided or significantly reduced if those agencies, quote, acted reasonably and with due care. The federal government has publicly accused Edison's faulty power lines with starting the fire, but Edison's lawsuit blames the county for failed evacuations, water agencies for not having enough water to fight the fire, SoCal Gas for not shutting off the gas sooner, LA County for not clearing brush, and County Fire for not having enough resources in place to help fight the flames. Edison facing hundreds of lawsuits from fire victims with potential settlement costs reaching billions of dollars. And while there is no official cause for the Eaton fire, Edison has appeared to take some responsibility. You may remember Edison proposed a compensation plan for fire victims that included payments based on the damage, $1.5 million payments for each death, and $500,000 for surviving spouses. CBS LA contacted LA County officials for a comment after business hours on Friday, but we have not yet heard back. In Altadena, Elise Martinez, CBS LA.
Coming up next on Action News Now, a dog in Lafayette is helping ease dental patients' anxieties. We'll show you how.
I'm Ian Lee in Minneapolis, where the cold isn't stopping anti-ICE and anti-immigration protesters from coming out and at times clashing.